Hi guys, happy August. I'm really excited about this month's content, and today I've prepared this lovely watercolor lettering video for you. We're also covering a bit of painting, which is fun. So this is just a video for anybody wanting to start lettering with a water brush. So you might use any paint or brushes you already have. If you've been doing lettering for a while, you might have some lying around. But if this is new to you, I've also added all of the materials I've used in this video just to give you a bit more guidance about the supplies. So I really hope you enjoy practicing with me today, and good luck. Let me know what you think. I would love to see your work as always. Feel free to share anywhere, tag me on social media or share in our Facebook group. I would love to see your work. I can't wait, so let's get practicing. So if you love the sound of watercolor lettering, I promise you're going to love this tutorial and I hope you're going to give this a go because this is so therapeutic. And I'll share my favorite supplies, but you can use any watercolors you have. You can use any watercolor palette you like. When it comes to a brush, again, it can be any brush. You can just get these sort of standard round brushes in any size pretty much. But if you want to do it in a more of a professional way, I highly recommend these Pentel water brushes. These are really nice, really flexible. So they have these like lovely bristles that come together here to a very pointy tip, which is what we want in lettering, so we can achieve those thin strokes. Obviously, when you're going to apply pressure, it's going to bend, so this is how you'll achieve a thicker stroke. So these brushes do come in different sizes. So the one I have here is kind of big. It's really big. I would say too big for lettering in a way. So you can get much thinner ones. So they're small, medium and large, and I think this one's large. But yes, this is good for bigger projects, like if you're lettering wedding signs, for example, or anything like that, this is going to be perfect. But just for like greeting cards and posters, I recommend the small size. I'll add the link for all of these materials so you can top up if you need to, or just have all the links there in case you need them for a particular project. So I'll be using my Van Gogh watercolor palette. Mine's very old, you can tell I've run out of a few colors already. But these are lovely, very cost effective, very nice palette that lasts ages, very good quality paints. You can use this for painting and lettering, which is great. I like to use the inside of my watercolors just here and mix a few paints. If you're just lettering, you don't really need like a huge mixing palette. And we'll need some fresh water. And also paper is important. So currently I enjoy using this mixed media pad, which is by Dale and Rowney. I will add the link to this as well. So it's quite good for any sort of mediums really, acrylics, watercolors, brush pens as well. So it's quite versatile, which I love. And I love the way it works with this brush in particular. So today I'm just going to give you a few tips so you have a good start to trying this out yourself. While this is quite similar to regular brush lettering, like when you're lettering with Tombow brush pens, for example, so the ones that have ink in them already, there are a few tips I want to share with you when it comes to using this brush. So it doesn't really need that much pressure because it bends really easily. It's very elastic, very flexible. So you'll find yourself applying lighter pressure even on those down strokes. And again, just remember the way we want to hold the brush is kind of this. So we want to grab it with our 3 fingers. Index finger can come sort of on top here, and then your thumb and middle finger can grab the brush from the side. You can either rest your brush in between these 2 fingers, or some people prefer holding the brush like this, which is also fine. Always make sure that the side of your hand is nicely rested on your page or on your desk. And we're always trying to look for this slant when we use brush pens. So try not to hold your pen up like this. You're not going to achieve very nice strokes in this position. And you always want to try and have your brush at a slant, kind of a 45-degree angle slant like this. So this is going to allow you to bend your brush so you can actually achieve those thicker strokes. And when we go up, we're going to try and apply light pressure so you can use the very, very tip of the brush instead. So it's always going to be this position, either going down or up. So we're never going to do this unless you're painting something, then you can hold your brush like that. So usually I would start by dipping my brush in water and then pick one colour I'm going to use today. So let's say I want to use this kind of bluish, dark blue colour. So all I'm doing, I'm kind of splashing in more water and then giving it a very gentle mix. So the paint becomes quite watery and my brush kind of absorbs it better. So I'm just mixing, so it's not just water on the top, but the pigment has mixed with water, so it becomes a bit thicker. So now my brush is loaded with this paint, which is way too much. It'll be incredibly hard to letter with this. So always try to kind of clean your brush a little bit, just using the side of your palette, or you can also use your jar and just kind of carefully get rid of the excess. So let's try to letter something together. And maybe let's do something very simple, maybe just the phrase, thank you. You know, it's a phrase you can use on greeting cards as well. Just preparing my brush. We're going to letter thank you and then maybe do some very simple painting elements around that phrase. So there we go. So starting here, kind of in the middle of my page. So I need a bit more water. As soon as you notice these like dry strokes, that just means you need to pick up a tiny bit more water. And the more water you add to your paint, the lighter it's going to look, which is quite nice. It's good to vary the value of your paint. So the more paint you add, the darker value you'll get. And the more water you add, the lighter value you'll get. So it's good to combine both when you do your word. So you can see that this stroke is much lighter than this, although I'm using the same paint. And I might stretch it even more. I might add even more water. So notice how I'm picking up the pen very often. I'm not just doing it in one go. And now I might go for darker value again. You can dip as often as you like, so as soon as your brush gets a bit dry, it's time to dip, but don't worry if your paint starts to get lighter. You don't necessarily need to dip in that case. Right, so we got the word thank, and we're going to do the word you underneath. Let's start with a long entry stroke here. And let's carry on. So the word you is a bit shorter, so I'm kind of stretching it out, increasing the gaps between my letters. So I kind of started running out of paint here. So this stroke is very light. And now I've dipped into my paint again. So I'm going to do the second part of this letter U with a more saturated paint. And a good thing about this brush is that you can paint lovely, lovely things with it. So we can maybe try doing some very simple flowers together. So I'm going to pick up a bit of this red, so it's very diluted here. And I want you to try this with me. So we're going to do this shape where we go up, light pressure, and sort of down, but we kind of do it in like a very jagged movement. And then again, up, down, okay? And then let's try another one. So up, down, up, down. So it kind of becomes this little heart shape, and it always comes back to the center. So imagine that the center of your flower is here. So you're kind of working around it. there we go. I'm going to go up, down, up, down. And I'm kind of aiming for 5 petals here. There we go. So that could be one flower, and we're going to let this dry and then add the center for this flower. Might do another one in yellow. Really kind of freestyling here. Very loose. There we go. So I'm just going to leave this here for a second so it dries. And while the petals are drying, I can add in some stems. To prepare the green, I mixed a bit of green with a bit of red. So I do like mixing it with red because I get this like muted tone, which is really pretty, instead of like a very bright green. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add these very thin stems. So I'm kind of barely touching the page and kind of imagining that the stem is coming out of the flower, and then connecting them all at the bottom here like this. And we can do a few leaves where we apply heavy pressure and then let go. So this is one half of the leaf, and then we're going to do the other half. So I'm going to start from here, and again heavy pressure, light pressure coming together at the top to achieve that pointy leaf look. I might do another one here. It's all about the pressure change here. I might do a little tutorial on leaves another time, so if this is very difficult, don't worry, just do the leaves in any way you like. You can just use the tip of your brush to draw them. You can do something like this where you just do the outline and then colour it in. Maybe let's add another stem of leaves, maybe hanging down there. Just an idea really, just something to paint around your lettering. Could look really pretty. Maybe imagine that another stem is coming out of there. We're going to do like similar leaves here, just leaving like a little highlight in the middle, so I'm leaving the center of the leaf white. And once the middle is dry, just check that it is dry. Mine is still drying actually, so I might just letter something next to it. So the blue one is dry, so I'm just going to grab this brown colour, and I want this to be fairly dry this time. And I'm just going to dab like little dots in the middle like this. Just like in a circle shape, just lots and lots of dots. Going to do the same thing here. Being careful not to touch any petals if they're still a bit wet. Just a little idea for you to try. Enjoy practicing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.